Welcome back to Paper Tuesdays with Michael Dwyer and Mark Halpin. Unfortunately, today we don't have Michael Dwyer as he is otherwise engaged today. My guest host is Ghislaine Maxwell.
No!
Who is here to set the record straight. No, it's not Ghislaine Maxwell. It's
Bríd Browne.
Bríd Browne.
You know my
Sorry,
name.
I forgot. Bríd, why are you here today?
Pushing Michael out of your life one step at a time.
It's never going to happen.
No.
What's our topic for today?
You give me the option of serial killers, Texas, Sandy Hook, or something else real ropey.
The flat earth.
The flat earth. So
Flat
we
earth.
went with serial killers.
The flat earth makes sense, right? Because if you go out to Clone and you look at the sea, it's just a straight line all the way across.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I've never seen a curve on the earth.
We just haven't gone up high enough. Yes, you have. If you're in an airplane, you can see a curve, can't you?
No.
I'm
You
sure
can fly it on a flat surface as well. You just go from one place to the other place. It's like a pizza.
I think... What? No.
Yeah.
If you go up high enough, it starts to curve.
Have you been up high enough?
No.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we're talking about serial killers today. We watched some serial killer stuff this morning. Well, I did, and
Yeah.
you've done some research on it.
I wrote a quiz.
You wrote a quiz?
Yeah.
You wrote your own quiz? You made one up?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
It's not as good as it sounds.
Okay. We'll get to that. First,
You were sitting beside me.
What?
You were sitting beside me.
I was sitting beside you, yeah, but I was engaged in something else, so I watched a video, a 15, 16-minute video that this man wrote in broken English.
Yeah.
And it was just text over all these videos of like mountains and then old pictures and stuff. And it was like, went in the numbers, so it started at like the lowest, and Ted Bundy was one of the lowest on it. He had 35 or something, I think it was. And then it went up, and it just, the more it went up, the less sense it made. So there was like this countess or something that lived in the medieval times, and she inherited her family's castle, and she used to bring young women into the castle and murder them and bathe in their blood. I can't remember what the name was, but it was shite, basically, the documentary.
Documentary is a strong word for what you watched.
It's a strong word.
PowerPoint.
It was a PowerPoint of a man who looked up murder on Wikipedia. Or
Yeah, but if you look up serial killers on Wikipedia, very few of the top ones are actually American. You've heard of very few of the top serial killers in the world.
Yeah. Russians have a good few.
Yeah, and like Iran and India and like
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't realise that.
Do you have any?
No, I took all the
references?
American ones.
Because that's the only one. America's the only place that exists.
Yeah. And they were just the ones that required less research.
Okay, can we do the quiz now?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's called Serial Killer or Serial Inventor.
Okay. Did you come up with this name?
Yeah.
Great.
So I'm going to give you a name and you have to guess if they were a serial killer or if they invented a type of cereal.
Okay.
Okay. Very few people have invented cereal. Okay. Harold Shipman.
Murder.
Yeah, he was a serial killer. He's also known as Dr. Death.
Ooh.
He was believed to have killed at least 218 patients.
Jesus.
So he used to kill, he was a doctor, he'd go around and kill his patients in bed by like over sedating them or something. He's thought to have killed at least 218, but they think it's closer to actually 250. He was based in London between 1972 and 1998.
Right.
And worked in 2 different offices, killing the whole time. And the people, it wasn't caught until like an undertaker started flagging that his name kept coming up on death certificates.
Right.
And that all his patients were dying during the day instead of like dying in their sleep or whatever when there was less people to look after them. They were dying like on his watch.
Yeah. He watched them die, that was his thing.
He killed them, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a podcast about him. There's definitely one called Dr. Death. It must be about him.
Right. Where was he?
London.
London. There was something like that with like a nurse as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Was that in Ireland?
I think that was America.
America?
I feel
But it
like
was the same thing. It was like
I think
she's
it's common.
sedated.
Yeah, they just like...
It's a kind of a
What are they
complex.
called? Do you think they're like... What's it called? That'll come to me.
Mm. They think they're doing him a favour?
Yeah, what is it called? Where they think they're like... Doing it like to...
They have some kind of a complex.
Words fail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's pregnant, by the way.
It's a baby brain.
Yeah.
It's like they're like angels of death or whatever. They think they're doing it for the greater good. It is
Charlie's Angels.
Angel of death.
Hell's Angels.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, stop cheating. Herman Webster Mudgett.
Cereal.
Also known as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes or H.H. Holmes.
Cereal.
You know him?
Kellogg's.
No. No, cereal isn't like... No, he's a murderer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is going to get confusing. He was based in Chicago and he built this big like murder house.
Okay.
So he just bought this house and designed it to kill people, like a murder hotel.
Yeah, like American Horror Story.
Yeah, I think it was based on this. So he was a pharmacist, turned the hotel into a torture castle.
Ooh.
In like 1893, he moved to Chicago and started outfitting a 3-story hotel with all manner of nefarious contraptions, including gas lines, secret passages and trapdoors, hallways to dead ends, chutes to the basement, soundproof padding, and torture devices strewn throughout a maze. I didn't write this. The gas allowed Holmes to knock out guests before the worst of what was to happen came next, often on his surgical tables. He then burned the bodies in the building's furnace, selling skeletons to medical schools and running life insurance scams. In all, he copped to more than 30 murders, found only after a fellow scammer turned him in for falling short on a financial agreement before he was hanged in 1896.
Jesus, so your man, the other lad, knew he was doing all this shit.
Yeah, but he owed him money, so he got him out. I remember getting, my brother lives in Chicago, and when I first went out, the only time I went over to visit, his fiance picked me up.
Yeah.
We were driving into Chicago and I was like, can you bring me to the murder house? And she was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And we didn't really speak for the rest of the drive. John Harvey Kellogg.
Cereal.
Kellogg and his younger brother, Will Keith Kellogg, had figured out how to make a flake cereal they called cornflakes. The younger Kellogg added sugar and began mass marketing them, including the first in-box prize.
Can we Google something here, Shane, quickly about Kellogg's?
Yeah.
Cornflakes, you didn't believe me, were an anti-masturbation device.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen this too.
Where did you see that?
I was seen as a Facebook meme, so I don't know.
It's not. It's a real
Reddit
story. Shane,
rumor.
pull it up. It's not a Reddit rumor. Reddit is fact. Reddit is 100% fact. And speaking of scams and Reddit, that thing I was telling you about. So there's a coin launched, a new cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah.
Called, what was your man's name? The crypto scheme.
Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi scheme.
That I sent you the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
It was named, it's a famous enough name. I've heard it before. But there's a new cryptocurrency named after a Ponzi scheme artist.
Yeah.
And it was launched and people on Reddit were like, well, the ad first of all said, named after a Ponzi scheme artist, but this one isn't a scam like you might think. And then all these people on Reddit were like, oh, this
That's
looks
exactly what
good.
you'd say if it was a scam.
Bernard Madoff.
Bernie Madoff is what he was his name I've heard before anyway. And they all started lumping their money on this new coin. And they were like, oh, the portfolio looks great, or the word path or something.
Yeah, the site looks nice, and I threw $15 into it. Let's see what happens. The roadmap is impressive, and if it's all true, this is going to be huge.
Yeah. And then it was rug pulled. So rug pulled is like when it's a scam, basically.
Did you get your money back then?
No.
No?
I'll take mine and run.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, have we got the masturbation?
Yeah, I looked at the second article that came up was, no, the headline was,
Yes.
cornflakes were not invented to stop masturbation.
They were.
I read a lot of articles on cereal today and it didn't come up.
You're looking in the wrong places. Anyway, so that was Kellogg's.
John Harvey Kellogg and his brother, the Kellogg's. That's weird, isn't it?
Well, not really. Like, they named it after themselves.
Yeah. I went to the Gaeltacht with some Odlums.
Odlums?
Yeah.
Were they from
Yeah.
the Odlums?
They were
What do they
grandchildren
make?
of the Odlum family, I think.
What do Odlums make?
Like porridge and baked goods, the pancakes we had earlier.
Mm.
Were Odlums makes.
Were they? Yes. They have like a rooster.
Owl, yeah.
Owl or rooster, whatever. Oh, I forget what I was going to say now. I had a very interesting point to make. Moving on.
Was it about masturbating?
It's gone, no.
Okay. James Caleb Jackson.
Murderer.
Yes. No. Cereal.
Yes.
I'm reading this as I
Both.
go. In 1863, James Caleb Jackson, a religiously conservative vegetarian who ran a medical sanitarium in Western New York, created a breakfast cereal from graham flour dough.
Boring.
Or the Americans call it graham flour dough.
Graham crackers.
Yeah, so that was dried and broken into shapes so hard they needed to be soaked in milk overnight. He called it granula.
Granola.
Then John Harvey Kellogg came along and made a version and called it granola.
Ooh.
Using the same idea, a former Kellogg's patient, C.W. Post, created grape nuts, which would become the first popular product to offer a discount coupon. There you go.
Yeah, so just going back to the John Harvey Kellogg masturbation.
Aha!
Yeah.
We have a video.
So, sure, John Harvey Kellogg advocated against masturbation and recommended cornflakes as a means to stop masturbation. But the cornflakes were invented for patients at a hospital. It was
Yeah.
never actually advertised in it as an anti-masturbation morning meal. Looking through this article as well, like your man John Harvey Kellogg, like there's a few weird saying, like seems like an odd chap. Like he came up with that he's a wildly racist and like yeah, avid anti-masturbation
Advocate.
yes.
In 1863, though, everybody was probably. No?
No, I don't know. People have been doing it. Monkeys do it. Do you want to see a video?
No. Yeah, he was like a surgeon, so he made cereals for his patients.
Kellogg.
Yeah, John Harvey Kellogg. John James D'Angelo Jr.
That is a serial killer.
Have you heard of him?
I think so.
You probably have. This is the Golden State Killer, who at various times was dubbed as the East Area Rapist or the original Night Stalker. He terrorized California during the 1970s and 80s and remained one of America's most notorious unidentified serial killers until law enforcement connected him to D'Angelo to the case using DNA in 2018.
2018?
Yeah.
So is he dead?
No.
No.
He wasn't dead when they caught him. He might be dead now. I don't think so. I was watching this happen as they caught him, like.
Really?
Yeah. They it was kind of leaked that they might have had him and then they were waiting for names to not come out.
Did this not happen in the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they caught him. Wait for it, you're going to love this.
Okay.
He was a former police officer. He pled guilty to 13 murders as well as 13 kidnapping related charges, and he admitted to dozens of rape in Northern and Central California between 1976 and 1979. But he couldn't be charged because of the statute of limitations. So it's like 40 years before.
What's the statute of limitations?
So certain crimes, if you commit them, they have like a time limit on them. So if you get found guilty after like that time, doesn't matter. They can't do anything about it because the time's run out.
Right. So he was like was free.
He was free.
He was never imprisoned until 2018.
No, he was, but like he got off with a lot.
Oh.
Because he couldn't, like a lot of rapes. I think rape has a big statute or a small statute of limitations.
Right.
But like murder probably has a bigger one.
Yeah. So like he was arrested, like he was
arrested, yeah. But they caught him because of these family tree like DNA websites.
Right.
Do you know, like you put your like 23andMe or whatever, you get your DNA, you send it in. So they had put in his DNA. The prosecutors didn't say that they had done this, but they put in his DNA from like a rape kit back in the 70s into the system so that they would be notified whenever like a relative of that DNA ever did it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like a distant relative of his put their DNA into one of these.
But how does that
Genetic.
convict him? He's just related to
They
someone.
just have DNA. They don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But they have narrowed it down. So they got a ping or whatever to say like this someone, I don't know, like a girl
did 23andMe
is related to this killer somehow.
Yeah.
So then they've narrowed it down to this one family.
Yeah.
And then based on all the other evidence they had, they could pinpoint this man.
Jesus.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah, that's very cool.
That's the Night Stalker on Netflix, isn't it? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how I'd heard of him.
Yeah, he's
I thought they
he was
caught
a bad
him.
man.
He like was in like a Mexican neighborhood or something.
He was a different one. There was the Night Stalker and then the original Night Stalker.
Oh, okay.
So there's two of them. This guy didn't caught. The other guy was Ramirez or something.
Yes, Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a different guy. But
Right.
it was all kind of the same thing in the same area, doing the same thing, like breaking in. I don't know how he knew. He would stalk people and like he would know when women were home alone. Like the one night you would stay alone in your house, he got them. Like it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Seemed terrifying.
Yeah.
He was a bad man.
Was that going on at the same time, the two of them?
No,
No.
I didn't take down him, but no, I don't think so. I think he came first because he's the original Night Stalker.
This guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? They had like, I remember them saying he'd get away so quickly, like he used to be able to jump off like 12-foot walls and like land and run, and they thought he maybe had an army background or something, like he had really good training. He was like really physically fit and able to get away, but it was because he was a police officer.
Yeah.
And I think he had a radio, so he always knew where the police were.
Shit. Yeah.
I think he was fired as a police officer, but I can't remember why.
Yeah. But he still had the equipment.
But he had the equipment and all. He knew how to like outsmart them.
Manipulate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like on that video I was watching. There was a few of them were like police officers or ex-soldiers
Yeah.
as well. One of them was actually a criminal investigator, so he knew the process, so he was able to evade the capture basically, and he knew to leave the bodies beside railroad tracks because the way they're coated, it throws the sniffer dogs off the scent. So he
Do you think
had
they
the
go into those jobs on purpose
Yeah,
to
I
learn
think
the
so.
ways?
Sure, it's what you're interested in. Do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
No, do you think they go into it with the idea of being like, I'm going to kill, and if I do this, then I'll be able to do it in a way that I won't get caught?
Yeah, they learn the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not stupid.
I don't know, like psych tests and all to become a police officer. Probably not in America.
No, probably not. No, there's a few lads in there, I think, that wouldn't pass the psych test.
Yeah. So yeah, that was him. He's really interesting. That whole thing was so interesting. The whole DNA profiling.
23andMe.
They caught him when he was 74, 40 years after he actually did it.
23andMe, Google, and Facebook.
YouTube.
Do you know about this?
You're going to love this.
You tell
Michael
this
would love
story
this.
because you know this story.
I heard it on a podcast before, but like the owner of YouTube is married to like the founder of 23andMe, whose sister owns Google or something.
Yeah.
Like they're all like
They're all
a couple
connected.
and in-laws, and they all own like the 3 biggest things in the world.
So they have your DNA, your private
Yeah.
information.
I think it might have been Blind Boy. He was like, why are they gathering all this info? And I was like, what's their plan?
Agenda.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sylvester Graham? Or Graham?
Cereal.
Yeah, the inventor of the graham cracker.
Yes, we finally got there.
In 1827. Is that a cereal?
I have no idea what they are. I thought they were just crackers, like the
They're like
ones you
big
put
shreddies.
butter on. Oh, maybe, yeah.
I have no idea. They're just crackers.
It's crackers.
Rodney Alcala?
Serial killer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've heard of this.
No?
You have. Because, during his killing spree and following his 1972 conviction for raping an 8-year-old girl, for which he only spent 34 months in jail after his victim's parents wouldn't allow their daughter to testify at trial, Alcala was somehow recruited to appear on a 1978 episode of The Dating Game.
Yes,
We watched this.
I know this, yeah.
He was called a successful photographer. He was bachelor number 1. The Bachelorette chose him, but ultimately chose not to go on the date after meeting him backstage. She said, I started to feel ill. He was acting really creepy. She said, I turned down his offer. I didn't want to see him again.
Would you be able to play that on the video?
Yeah, the clip of him on the date.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you seen it?
No.
It's very creepy.
I don't even know if it's creepy because they all seem creepy on those shows when
Yeah.
you look back on it, but it's creepy to know that he was in the middle of a killing spree at the time.
Yeah, and he was on this
He was
show.
on that, yeah.
And the poor lady, like.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And welcome to the dating game. And we'll get right underway. It's time to meet our first 3 eligible bachelors for game number 1. And here they are. Good luck, gentlemen. Well, let's see. Bachelor number 1 is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Please welcome Rodney Alcala. Rod, welcome.
He was killing women as well.
He just got
wasn't
out of prison after
He had just got out of
being
prison.
after being a child rapist. Like,
Yeah, there obviously was no vetting process back
No.
then. It was just like, this guy wants
yeah,
to be
this
on
guy's
telly.
interested.
Yeah.
So bad.
That could be first dates now, like.
No, the first dates, I think there's like an actual vetting process. I worked on it. I think there's
There's a few people on that now that probably could have gone through it again, I'd say.
No, I think you do have to be guarded vetted, to be honest.
Probably most shows
Correct.
nowadays.
Yeah,
Like,
especially with like
like,
dating shows, because you don't really know. Like, I went on it as a background dater years ago before I ever worked on it, and even with background daters, they were like, you do not have to give anyone your number. You don't have to go anywhere afterwards. Like, you can be like, come find us if you feel unsafe and all that, because it all comes back on them if anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
So they have to be really strict, because like that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have one more. John Wayne Bobbitt and Lorena Bobbitt.
Serial killers.
They're not serial killers, but they're not serial killers at all. But I mentioned this to you last week, and you found it really interesting.
Right.
John Wayne Bobbitt and Lorena Bobbitt were an American couple whose relationship received international press coverage in 1993 when Lorena cut off John's penis with a knife while he was asleep in bed. The penis was subsequently surgically reattached.
You told me they cut it off in the car and she threw it out the window.
Yeah, she did. They found it. They put it on ice in a big bite hot dog box. from a nearby 7-Eleven and rushed her to the hospital, where in a 9.5-hour feat of urological and plastic surgery, it was reattached and restored to almost full function.
Almost.
Yeah. She said that to the jury, John came home drunk, he raped her, she went to the kitchen to get a glass of water, spotted the kitchen knife and was overcome from years of abuse. She doesn't remember anything after that.
Jesus.
Yeah. She got in the car and she threw it out the window into a local field, and then she was a manicurist or something. She went to her salon then after.
Went to work?
Don't know. Just got away. John went on to star in porn.
No way.
Yeah. In pornography films such as John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut and John Wayne Bobbitt's Frankenpenis.
Oh my God.
I know you'd love this.
Yeah, I do.
He became a fixture on the Howard Stern show.
Really?
Yeah. Not in a nice way though.
Yeah.
He said, or Stern said, I don't buy that he was raping her. She's not that good looking. Not great.
That's Howard Stern.
Yeah. So he made the most of it. She went on, she did some press, but she turned down all offers of like films or TV series because they didn't like address it as like years of abuse. They just addressed it as like the headline, which is she got off his penis.
Yeah.
She turned down $1 million to pose for Playboy. So the $1 million is $1 million. It would have been amazing, but I wasn't raised that way. I think she's after doing a documentary with Jordan Peele now,
Right.
where it's like from her side.
Yeah.
Because I think she like, I don't know if she got off with it, but like it was seen as because she was like a victim of like marital rape and domestic abuse for years and years. I think she got like, I think maybe she did get off with it. Maybe I should have.
So neither of them went to jail?
I don't know.
And they're both famous.
I don't know. I didn't get that far. I started to get tired then.
And that was the end of the game.
That was the end of the game. Yeah. Should have had a theme tune.
Should have had a theme tune. We should lighten it up a bit, I think. That was.
Isn't it? I did a podcast about serial killers before and true crime, and it's so depressing.
It is. I thought it'd be a bit more fun than this. It's not.
It's really hard to keep it light.
I'm hungover and it's raining outside.
Yeah, it was always setting up for a fall.
Yeah, this didn't go well. I want to talk about Sandy Hook. No. What can we talk about? Last night I went out and it was a stag or whatever, and I was waiting for a stripper for 45 minutes, and instead I went and got 4 in 1 because they never showed up.
Yeah.
I think
45 minutes is the max you wait for a stripper.
Max size wait for a stripper.
Your time is valuable.
Yeah. And then I got a 4 in 1 instead. And what I've noticed is I've started going blind when I drink. So I was in the Chinese, I was talking to Xing Conjuring, and I was trying to listen to him, but I was trying to look at him, and I couldn't. I just couldn't focus my eyes. Yeah. And I wasn't like that drunk. Like I was okay. Like not okay. I was drunk.
I'm not surprised that you couldn't see him.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't that bad. I wasn't falling over or like
bad.
asleep or getting sick or anything.
No, but you've been drinking since 2 o'clock and this is 11.
Yeah, it was a long day. But I couldn't. I don't know how, and it's happened before, but like only one time I really remember. Like it does happen, your vision goes a bit blurry or whatever. But I went fully blind once in Australia. Like I couldn't see anything. It was just like the colours of the room around me, and it was just because I'd been drinking. I was drinking all day that day too. Yeah. But I was couldn't see anything, so I just had to go sleep.
Sound good.
No, but I was fine the next day. But I remember I was drinking with Philly Kinsella, and I just turned to him and I go, I can't see. And he's like, just go sleep.
That's probably not.
It was the best cure.
To the hospital.
No, I just had to sleep.
You could have having a stroke or something.
Well, we both thought it was funny. Yeah, so the next day I was fine.
Yeah, have you ever seen that meme? It's like a Scottish lad, like they're out like a house party or something. And he's just videoing this lad someone across and he's passed out on the couch beside you and he's just like, can he see?
Can he see? That was literally what it is. I feel that man's pain.
I think a lot of people get to that point though. They're just not conscious enough to realise that they're not able to see.
Yeah, they just power through.
They just look around and you can kind of see shapes and you're like, this is good enough.
Yeah.
Don't.
You don't like when I do it.
No,
Why?
I don't like it. Stop.
It's just when I stop working on my face, I just let my face do what it wants. It goes like that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It does, but I'm not trying.
No, it doesn't.
That's my natural.
No, it doesn't. You're just a liar.
Do you think that's like people aren't just...
You're telling me you've been holding this face
for
for
takes
9 months
effort.
and you takes effort?
Yeah, it takes effort to be like this. It does, whereas if you're not trying... I'm not trying to impress anyone anymore.
No.
This is what it looked like last night.
Yeah, it did, but you had a bigger smile on your face. He told me he rubbed Mick Gleason's belly.
I did.
And to let him into the lock orbit. And then he told me he fought Jimmy Ming for my honour.
I did.
He didn't.
I did.
He said, listen here, Jimmy Ming. Let's take this outside. You had a whole story though.
I did.
Tell him the story.
I can't remember what the story I told was. I do that. I get bored and then I come up with a story in my head and I tell it to Bríd as if it's fact.
Yeah.
Which is otherwise known as a lie.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. The only things I lie about are things that are quite clearly a lie. I make it up. Do you have any examples of some lies I've told you?
You told me you went to school with someone with a funny name. What was it?
Oh, no, this is true. Pavlova O'Brien.
It's not true. You need to let that one go.
It's true. Your dad believed me.
Coiva didn't believe me. Coiva was like, he's some liar. Turn this off.
I'm sweating.
No.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're all in the same vein as that. They're all a little bit true with like a hint of a lie.
Yeah. Michael's news. Are we going to go into? We're not allowed to talk about it. Michael has news. So if you want to find out more, DM him on Instagram. I'm sure there's probably pictures up already of what his news is.
Yeah.
He got a vasectomy.
He's pregnant.
He's pregnant. Michael is pregnant. Yeah, so that's the way things are going. What else would you like to talk about?
I don't know.
So what's your views on what's happening in the Ukraine at the minute?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't really know much about what's going on.
So
I know everyone's kind of sitting around waiting for something to happen or not happen.
Yeah.
So we're hoping it doesn't happen.
Putin he wants the Ukraine.
Why?
And everyone else is saying, no, you can't have that. And America is like, America just don't want Russia to be happy, basically. Because Russia is probably better than America. So they are going to stop Russia. Yeah, the space race. Space is fake. Did you Google hashtag space is fake?
You wouldn't do that if Michael was here.
No way.
I did, but I didn't click into anything.
Space is fake. So, new conspiracy coming to life online. Space is fake, Masthead Brewing Company. Okay, so... why do I have to fucking...
Space in general is fake.
Yeah. I don't know what the reason for it is. But apparently they think it's all a lie. Birds aren't real.
Yeah.
What's your favourite conspiracy theory?
I really don't believe the moon landing happened when they said it did. I think we have landed on the moon since.
Yeah.
Not we, but they. But I think the Americans just wanted to be the first to do it, so they faked the one we all know as the original moon landing.
It does look fake. What makes you believe that it's fake?
The shadows. I can't remember. It's a long time since I had these facts to reel off, but
okay.
There was like something to do with the cross shadows when there would only really be one source of light up there.
Yeah.
But there were shadows coming from two different sides.
Yeah, which would indicate there's a light like that.
Yeah, like a studio.
Yeah.
There's on some of the pictures there's like little crosses which would have like original photos would have if you were like editing them and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why they'd have that.
There's some interesting ones like the
flag blowing. There's no wind on the moon, but the flag is blown.
Yeah. How do we know there's no wind on the moon?
People have been up there.
How often do we go to the moon?
There's no atmosphere on the moon.
We don't go anymore. There's nothing there. Why?
We go to Mars now.
Yeah. Well, Elon is going to Mars and we're all going to die here.
Is he still up there?
No, I don't think... Did he even go?
Does he just go up and go around and come back?
Yeah.
Every now and then?
Every now and then, sure. On a Sunday.
Richard Branson has starting
Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah. To the space down, like Elon's trying to do the same thing.
Virgin Galactic, was it?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. But I seen a thing, I think it was about the original space landing, like that the reason why it would be fake, like in America said to get there first is so that Russia would then pile all their money into the space program and try to beat best America, and all their money would be going into try to get into the moon and all this, like, so then America could reroute their funds into military and become stronger that way.
Yeah.
So
there's a whole world of conspiracy theories out there.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to something about 9/11 the other day, and Look, I'm not saying this is real. This is just someone else's opinion.
Yeah.
This is an opinion I heard. And they reckon that, like, there's no way... There's phone calls when you look at 9/11 documentaries. The people on the planes are making phone calls to their loved ones. You can't make phone calls in an airplane at 30,000 feet.
You could on those, like it was an in-flight phone, wasn't it?
No, there was like calls of like passengers
Yeah.
to their loved ones.
I don't think something as obvious as that is going to be like the reason why it wasn't real. I think it was like business class on the flight or something. Probably had like a phone. Because right now you can pay for Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah.
Back then I think they had
You
phones
pay-
on the plane.
Right.
I don't think it's something. I don't think I think they're just going to make up.
Yeah.
Our phones worked on those flights.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. What's your thoughts on JFK?
JFK in general.
The assassination more so.
Did they not catch your man, Harvey?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
But they reckon Lee Harvey Oswald, I think, maintains that he can't remember doing it. He doesn't even like fight the, he's not saying I'm innocent or whatever.
Yeah.
But he just says, I think
can't be
I'm
found.
innocent. Maybe I did, but I don't think I did do it.
You can't be found guilty if you don't remember, can you?
Well, if there's evidence there, isn't he in jail or was he released? Lee Harvey Oswald. There's like 4 suspects or something, isn't
He
there?
was killed before the trial, wasn't he? No, or is that different?
There was
No
2
idea.
lads. There was Lee Harvey Oswald and there was a second man. I have something here, but there's other theories. Tony Glover, who saw the killing age 11, thinks there may have been a second shooter. Some people believe the other gunman fired from the grassy knoll which the president's limousine passed. Tony thinks a second shooter, if there was one, could have been on the other side of the road. There's fairly substantial evidence, she says. It has some validity to it. This is an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Substantial. Jeffrey Morley, who is a former Washington Post reporter who has written several books on the killing, including one out this week about former CIA counterintelligence chief James Angleton. I have never written about a conspiracy theory, he says. I report the facts about the assassination. He tends to doubt that Oswald shot JFK. He says it's more likely the fatal shot came from in front of Kennedy rather than behind. Look at the Zapruder film, says Morley, referring to the famous homemade footage of the killing. Kennedy's head goes flying backwards. I know there's a theory that if you get hit by a bullet from behind, the head goes towards the source of the bullet. But as a common sense explanation, it seems very unlikely. That sure looks like a shot from the front. Morley has other reasons to doubt the official story. A paraffin test on Oswald's cheek after he was arrested suggests he hadn't fired a rifle. The test's reliability has been questioned. John Connolly, the Texas governor who was also traveling in the president's car, said he was not hit by the same bullet as Kennedy, contradicting the Warren Commission's findings. And Morley thinks other parts of the official explanation don't add up. The official story, there was this guy Oswald who nobody knew anything about, who came out of nowhere and shot the president. That story we know beyond a reasonable doubt is false, he says. Oswald was monitored by the counterintelligence staff of the CIA and by James Angleton for 4 years, from December 1959, when they opened their first file, to November 1963. But Thomas Wallen, an author and associate professor at the Boston University, thinks Oswald did shoot JFK. This is a quote, "And not just me, but in general, historians believe he was the assassin. The big question is, was he involved in a broader conspiracy?" While the Warren Commission said Oswald acted alone, it did note that he had travelled to the Soviet Union in 1959, so unsuccessfully applied for Soviet citizenship and lived there until 1962. It also found that Oswald, a self-proclaimed Marxist, visited the Cuban and Russian embassies in Mexico City in September 1963, 2 months before Kennedy was shot. Wallen says the newly released documents may shed some light on this trip. What was Oswald doing in Mexico City weeks before the assassination? Did he meet Cuban and Soviet intelligence officials? Did they give him the green light? Certainly Fidel Castro, Cuban Prime Minister, then President, had motive to kill President Kennedy. We, being from the United States government, were trying to kill him.
Wasn't that the second, wasn't there an assassination attempt first and then the assassination?
On the same day.
Same week or something?
Was there?
Or was that a different Kennedy? Who was it that got shot in the lung?
The lung?
What am I thinking of?
His brother was shot, or was it
Ted?
as well?
Maybe it's his brother. Wasn't it one of them when he thought he was fine, then he got in the car and he was actually shot in the lung or something?
That Ted Kennedy. That was his brother, wasn't it?
I don't know. No.
They're from Wexford.
Yeah, they are, Rosslare.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear the one about the Kennedys having killed Marilyn Monroe?
No, not about having killed, but I do know there was something between JFK and Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, because he was having an affair or whatever, and she... I don't know, I watched a documentary on it years ago, and the whole thing was that they were at the house the night she died him and his brother. She was having an affair with both of them, maybe.
Right.
And she was like threatening to tell or something. And they were there the night she died, and there was like big like gaps in the time between like when she died and when the police were called or like any help was sent to her and stuff. Like it was all
And how
a bit
did she die?
wishy-washy. I think it was an overdose.
Overdose. Yeah. I think I heard that, but I reckon they like poisoned her or whatever.
Something, yeah.
And you see the thing about the woman, the elderly woman that was like videotaping the whole thing of JFK being like assassination. She's literally like 10 feet away from him, like as the car's going by, and that footage never came. Like she has a handheld thing
Yeah.
there. She's like in like a overhead scarf and stuff like that. It's called a babushka lady.
Babushka lady.
Yeah, footage never came. Like
But there's footage of her filming it.
Yeah, the footage of her filming this, and she's probably the closest known person to be recording this, and
It just
that
never
footage
came. That never happened, did it?
Yeah, never came forward the footage. Never found her. Like
Yeah. And she's like in disguise basically. Like
yeah, like she's there. Like you can't actually like see her face, see anything about her. Like it's just this elderly woman videotaping it from like 10 feet away.
there's definitely like a lot of shady shit goes on in these powerful organizations.
Wasn't it like most of the original crew from the moon landing are dead now because in like weird circumstances?
Really?
Yeah. Anyone that worked on the original moon landing was like killed mysteriously.
Was it? Was Aldrin? Was Aldrin?
No, not him. Obviously,
They were the ones
like,
on the actual one, weren't they? They actually went to the moon. They were
There's
later.
maybe it's not the first moon landing, but
Was it
there's
Lance
something-
Armstrong? Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, not Lance.
Lance. That's one big testicle for Lance.
And there's something to do with the moon and people
I think I did
mysteriously
see something
dying.
like that, so, yeah.
Yeah, and if you look it up, it's all like it's fact.
Did you see the video of Buzz Aldrin hitting a letterbox in the head?
No,
Some like moon landing denier comes up and starts screaming at Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin's in like his 60s or 70s now, and he just punches him in the face. Like he probably gets that shit all the time. Like he probably gets emails.
poor him.
Fucking imagine like there's
Oh, it's saying
crazy.
it's not real.
Yeah.
Oh
people
right,
saying
not
it's
just
not
like
real.
having to talk about being on the moon.
No, like no. People are like, you're a fucking shill, or this is
Oh,
fake,
right.
and just fucking QAnon people. And he just eventually lost it and punched one in the face. And he's
shit.
fucking dead right too.
Yeah, he probably gets like diplomatic immunity or something, does he?
Probably just walk around punching people,
Yeah.
just swinging.
Yeah, he's a national
I'd
hero.
love that. You just walk out of your house in the morning swinging. Ah, that's how I felt this morning when I woke up.
So you do that anyway. There's just no one here to
Yeah.
take you on. Jimmy Ming and Mick Gleason.
Yeah, I don't like. I want to go back into this American government thing, right? So Obama went in, a young handsome man in like his 30s. What was he? 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
and he
Early
came out and he
40s.
looked 70 after 8 years.
You can't apply before you're like 30 something.
30 something.
Yeah, so he's probably
He
like
was young
40.
though,
Yeah,
like-
he was like early 40s, I think.
And when he came out, he was just a different person.
Well, yeah, the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You would look different.
And I've heard like I was listening to, I can't remember, it was some American comedian on his podcast. Like Obama wasn't on it, but he was talking, saying like either he knows Obama or one of his friends knows Obama, and they were talking about like just privately after he left office, and he was like, he said to him, I'm the president, but I'm literally about like halfway up the tier in the power hierarchy there. Like there's a lot more above him
Calling the shots.
calling the shots.
Yeah,
He's a face.
signs off.
He signs off on things, but he really doesn't have the power that we're led to believe he has.
Yeah.
That there's far more higher levels than president in the American government.
I believe that. It's the same with the Irish government, isn't it? Well, like,
Is it?
I don't think any president is really it doesn't really end with them.
Who is calling the shots though? Corporations.
I don't know.
The CIA. Do we have a
They're
CIA?
people. No, I
The
don't.
Central Irish
It's
Intelligence.
just the army, is it?
The army.
I don't
I'd
know.
say there is like secret service, like not secret service, like that's like England do have all that crack, but like I don't know if we have. But there's definitely like secret like teams in the in Gardaí and everything like that. Like, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. We have the fishermen are saving us from Russia.
Yeah, I don't think Ireland would have thought that far ahead.
No.
yeah, we can see that like in all governments. All the people like they're being lobbied by everyone with money. So like all the big oil companies, all the big like investment funds and all that. Like basically just giving politicians money to kind of sway like
Yeah.
votes in their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. It's our whole thing is just lowering corporation tax to get big companies in here.
Yeah,
And it works.
it does work.
Do you work for Google?
No, I've been in Google. It's really nice.
Have you?
Yeah, I filmed a video in there before, but it's not like it's. I had a friend who worked in Google actually, or Facebook, one of them, and like every 10 feet or whatever, there's like a candy stand, and there's just like all snacks and like whatever you want all day long for free.
Yeah.
But that's because they expect you to be there all day long. They want you to have all your meals there. They'll give you all your meals because they want you there at all meal times.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
It's
they
a
give you everything, so you never have to leave.
laissez-faire work situation. So I studied this in junior cert business.
Yeah.
They let you just have to get your work done. It doesn't matter on the timelines or whatever.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, like obviously there are deadlines for things, but you just there's no like clock in, clock out system, I don't think. They trust you to do the work, and then they give you all these benefits on top of it, so you never leave and they own your soul.
Yeah.
I worked for the Google's Christmas party in the RDS.
Oh yeah.
As a barman, and those people are dead inside.
Yeah.
They're so fucking boring. They get like these tickets, and you take a ticket off, and they each get 2 tickets for 2 free drinks.
That's it. That's all Google give them is 2 drinks each.
2 drinks. Oh, but you should have seen the shit that was there. Like, it wasn't about drinking. Like, it wasn't like a normal Christmas party where, you know, you go out and get drunk and say something you shouldn't to your boss. But there was robots walking around the RDS, and like big dinosaurs, and like there was loads of different rooms. It was like Dublin Zoo the nightlights, and there was all this fucking crazy shit everywhere. Like there was party rooms and silent discos and robots, and like there was an Indian room and an African room. The African room had like giant statues of fucking lions and stuff.
Cool.
But the people that were there were just so fucking boring. Like it was like the same person 5,000 times came up and ordered a drink. Like, and some of them weren't drinking. Like they get the ticket off the fucking another person who didn't want their drink, and they're like, I got 3 drinks today. They tell me, I'm like, fucking fist bump them.
You go, man.
Yeah, but they're all nerds, like.
And they all get like accommodation stuff if they hire from abroad and they bring them over and they put them up in apartments and stuff.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them were foreign, but like kind of tech people, it seems like.
Yeah, they like headhunt.
Yes.
And then they'll give them their accommodation as well. But like, you've no like, Google owns you then, like.
Yeah. They pay your rent. Yeah. They pay your food.
I think for like the first 6 months or something while you're there, they pay your rent or something to get you settled.
Jesus. It does own you then, really, doesn't it? Like, where you live, where you sleep, what you eat.
Yeah. I had lunch in Facebook.
Did you?
And it's literally like the, what did you call it, Carvery breakfast in Tenerife, where it's like, this is the Italian bar, and it's like all Italian food. This is the whatever bar, and like this is your Sunday dinner bar. Like, and you just go and you get whatever you want as much as you want every day.
Jesus. And are you going to get that in John Bass Tires?
I'm not working for John Bass Tires.
Never say never. Dreams don't work unless you do.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, you just have to try your best.
Yeah.
Box clever.
What was your catchphrase for John Bass?
Trying his best.
Trying his best. He tries his best.
Why was that?
Well, I played a team tune you wrote for the hurling team.
No.
Okay.
I have a team tune for Paul Byron.
Yeah.
The shoe place in the shopping centre. If you want to hear it.
Shoe shop.
What did I say?
Shoe place. Foot place.
Yeah, I haven't. Are you ready? You ready?
Yeah. You won't be able to do this.
Paul Byron. Yum.
Why did you start so low? Do the Castle or I'm gonna play it.
You can just play it.
I'll just play it and do it.
Yeah. Liam Mellows. Liam Mellows, you know what it is. Liam Mellows.
And then he said to the tune of Black Eyed Peas, Black and Yellow. Which I don't think, is that their song?
It's not.
Yeah, you're losing it. Mark's off social media.
I'm off social media and YouTube for a month.
Yeah.
Must have been
it's manifesting.
3 days, yeah. And I've lost my mind. I've a very hyperactive mind, I think.
Yeah.
I have to be thinking about something all the time. And social media was a distraction from thinking. And now I don't have that. But I feel better. I feel not today,
Yeah.
but before yesterday, I felt better after my 1 day off.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have more capacity for doing things than I had before. Like I would have been very bad at replying to messages. I'd be very bad at actually like writing. I went out of the habit of it, reading as much. And now, or going to the sauna is another thing that I stopped doing because I told myself I didn't have time when in reality I was just coming home and watching YouTube on my breaks for an hour. Whereas I could have been going and doing these different things. But yeah, you'd be amazed if you think you're stuck for time, if you just take a break off social media, how much time you get back.
Yeah. I haven't done my Wordle today, I just remember that.
Yeah? Do you want to go?
No, I'll do it later. Yeah, that's true.
How does Wordle work? I don't really get it. We were playing it the other day.
Yeah, I refused to do it for like the first month because everyone else was doing it.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to be a part of it, and I knew it was addictive, and I didn't want to get addicted.
Yeah.
Because I don't play games on my phone.
Yeah.
But it's basically you just have to like guess a 5-letter word, and if you guess a word, if the letter is in the right word, it'll go yellow. If it's in the right word or if it's in the right place for the right word, it'll go green. So then kind of you narrow it down, you get 6 guesses. It sounds so boring, but it's so addictive.
And is there levels to it? No, there's no scoring.
Just one word. You only get to do it once a day.
Once a day. That's what makes it.
Some guy just made it, and then the New York Times bought it off him. So the New York Times owns it.
For how much?
Don't know. Probably a lot.
Yeah, that's such a simple concept.
Yeah, I don't know how it took off. Probably Twitter or something.
Yeah. You were big on the tweeting machine?
I don't tweet ever, but I love reading tweets.
Reading tweets. Twitter is good, but it's again a time drainer.
Yeah.
You can just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and like find 10 things to make you angry and one thing to make you like, laugh a tiny bit.
I have the exact same timeline as Michael Fry, I think, because everything I see,
he sees, he posts. Yeah. Well, they probably like, I don't know what way does Twitter algorithm.
Yeah, we're probably following a lot of the same people.
And it's all that you might like this thing, or or it's like similar to posts that this person follows or likes or something.
Yeah.
Like some people I've had to turn. You can like for the suggestions like this person liked this tweet. Like I've had to turn off some people's like notifications because they're liking such stupid shit.
Yeah. If you go back through my tweets from like years ago, it's not good.
What?
I don't know what's there, but I do remember I used to tweet.
You're going to get cancelled?
Yeah, probably. A lot of outrageous shit.
Maybe you should go back and delete some.
No.
Why?
Who cares?
I had to do that, I think.
Did you?
On my Facebook.
Yeah, you said some bad stuff on Facebook before.
No, I didn't.
Bríd Browne is cancelled. We actually are cancelling Bríd Browne, and I am going to be Marc Moo from now on.
You can have it. I'm done with it. The empire is gone.
We have 13 weeks and 6 days until you shit on my baby.
No, I'm not going to poo on the table.
You are?
I'm not. I think a high percentage of people do poo when they're having their baby. Because that's all it is. It's just pressure down that end.
Smell.
It's going to smell regardless. Like I
wonder what it smells like.
I don't know.
Probably not good.
No,
plywood.
Fluid. Plywood. I don't know what plywood smells like. I'm not looking forward to it. No, I am, but not.
Tell us about hypnobirthing.
Yeah, hypnobirthing. Something Orla suggested to me.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I think, I've started listening to a podcast which isn't like telling you how to do hypnobirthing, but it's like the lady who hosts it is a hypnobirthing coach. So she's not, I think you have to, like, she's saving all the actual hypnobirthing techniques. The
good stuff. For like our Patreon, subscribe to our Patreon.
For it, yeah. But like basically, it's kind of what my mind frame was anyway, is that your body won't put you in a situation that you're not able for. Do you know what it is? It's like lack of knowing what you're in for, or lack of education. Like if you go in for a surgery but you don't know what the surgery is going to be like or on, or if you're going to be awake or asleep, you're going to be scared shitless and you're going to think everything that touches you hurts.
Yeah. But
if you know exactly what you're in for with labour, like the stages of it, what each bit means, if you're like mentally prepared for what's going to happen, then it's going to be a lot less scary. And I think a lot of it is just people, obviously I haven't done it yet, it's probably people like who've been in labour being like, it's really hard, and I knew what I was in for.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is just like mentally preparing yourself. And it's not all pain, it's just like...
And what have you learned about the labour process?
Only from what we're watching on the Rotunda.
The Rotunda and Bomborne every minute?
Yeah, some people go quicker than others.
And there's no rhyme or reason to it?
No.
Young people seem to have an easier time.
They can give you like hormones and stuff to speed it up if they think you need it. You can refuse it. You can go naturally. It's all like personal preference the whole way through.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you're going to take the drugs?
I'm going to take the drugs. I'm going to take pain relief. I'm going to try go at whatever like baby's pace is. I'm not going to like, you can take hormone drips and all to speed it up. I don't know.
If it lasts 2 days, you probably will end up.
Yeah, it'll probably, everything's going to change when I get in there, I'd say, but I'd like to not do anything. We
filled out your birthing plan, didn't we?
No.
Or no, we just looked at a birthing plan.
Yeah.
When
I don't know if people in Ireland really do that. Do you know what I learned? Cesarean sections in America, they just sew you up once. But there's like 7 layers of muscle and fat that they cut through to get in at the baby. And in the UK, they sew up each layer individually. So cesareans are much better done in the UK. I don't know how they do them in Ireland. I'm assuming it's probably closer to the UK.
Yeah.
But in the US, they just like, what?
And that's it?
That's it.
So it just heals naturally, but there's still going to be scar tissue there.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't sound good.
No. And it's 20 grand. You have to buy your baby.
You have to pay for everything when you're having a baby in America.
And it's not covered by insurance.
You don't get maternity leave. You have to save up your holiday days.
No way.
Yeah. Or you get like 2 weeks or something. You have to save up your holiday days. You have to pay like everything, all your hospital fees, which is obviously a lot over there.
That's fucking bullshit.
It is bullshit.
And like, then you factor in. So you might, if you like, how many days holidays do you
That's
get?
why we're watching Love Is Blind, and they're like, we'll have as many kids as we can afford.
Yeah.
Because each kid is like, to have is like 20 grand. I don't know. And then like to send to college is another 100 grand.
Yeah,
that's. Like, they make big money over there, but like that's why.
Yeah, it's the.
Other shit costs big money.
Rent is probably expensive. Well, I suppose it's dependent on where you live.
Yeah.
But even getting ambulances and stuff in America costs
a shitload of money, yeah.
Yeah, one night in hospital will set you back.
But if you have healthcare, does that not pay for the baby?
I don't know.
Isn't there like families over there, like 13 people? Wasn't there a TV show or whatever about like they have 13 kids?
I went to school with a girl who had 20 brothers and sisters.
20?
From Askamore.
Jesus Christ. They were all from Askamore.
She was the youngest.
All her brothers and sisters.
All of them from the one house. They never all lived together, obviously, because they were 21 years apart.
Yeah.
The oldest and the youngest.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, she youngest was my age.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
20.
They were on the late night.
Were they? So many of them. And are they all like okay?
I don't know.
Yeah. You're operating there on.
They're all. I think they're all alive and well. Yeah.
Fucking hell. What's the second name?
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
I don't want to say too much, but as far as I know, they're all happy out. Like.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. We want to have more than 2 or 3, but we're going to try anyway.
Go on.
Try our best. Well, yeah.
No, let's see.
Yeah, but it's not. So, like, we get free babies here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
very cheap to have a baby in Ireland. That's why when we watch like the Rotunda and stuff, you see a lot of immigrants coming to have pregnant immigrants coming here to have babies.
Why? Just to have it and then they go home?
Healthcare, and the baby gets a passport once it's born in Ireland.
An Irish passport?
An Irish citizen once it's born here.
Really?
Yeah, no matter what your parents are.
Right. Is that the same in every country? No?
I don't know. That's what it is for Ireland. Yeah, better healthcare than like a lot of them. Where were they coming from? Like Syria or like Nigeria
Africa,
and stuff like And I don't know if you're like if you come here and have a baby and it's an Irish citizen, can they deport you and keep the baby? Probably not.
No, that's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what Trump was doing, was it? Yeah. Something similar.
Oh yeah.
We learned that babies are colourblind or see in black and white
for the first 4 weeks.
For the first 4 weeks, which is crazy, and I don't believe that.
Yeah. They don't really see when they come out first. Baby's only starting to open its eyes now.
It can see in there.
Not yet, but it's starting to open its eyes in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
That's its next milestone.
Open its eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't think babies opened their eyes straight away.
They can open their eyes, but they don't see. Like they don't. You can tell. Like they're very out of focus.
Right.
Newborn babies. Yeah, literally like a newborn baby.
Because they're not trying. They haven't been conditioned.
They're just too relaxed.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. You get stuck that way. No.
I'm back.
This is my partner, Mark. No way. Yeah. They don't get an eye colour for the first 6 weeks. Or they do, and it might change, it might not.
It changes?
Yeah. They're all born kind of bluey grey.
Do we have the same eye colour?
Yeah, close, I think.
Yeah.
And blue green.
Yeah. So it'll probably be that.
Yeah.
I hope.
Comes out with big brown eyes.
Yeah.
Blonde hair.
Dark skin.
No.
Yeah. So that's it. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
Do we have any other parting thoughts?
No.
No. Subscribe to our Patreon, The Baby Needs Shoes.
Yeah. Or the baby podcast.
The Baby Podcast, yeah. So we have our own podcast. If you like that, there's much more on Bríd's Patreon. If you go to the link in our Instagram bio. Is it the link in your Instagram bio? Yeah. It's called Hey Baby.
It's called Oh Baby. It's called Oh Baby.
It's called Oh Baby, and we have 2 podcasts up. There's a couple of posts, a poem I written, another article.
A poem I written.
A poem I written.
Poem I wrote.
Poem I written. Is it written or wrote?
I wrote. I thought wrote sounded wrong there, but I think that's right. Written.
Written.
Poem I wrote. Poem I written.
Poem I wrote. Poem I written.
It's not written.
Yeah. There's loads
Oh,
of valuable content there.
I have a video of Marc breastfeeding.
Is that on it? Yeah.
No, not yet, but it's going up
that's
soon.
going up soon. You get to see me breastfeed.
A pump.
Pump?
You're not feeding anyone.
No, I'm not. I hope not. Your dad seen that video. He wasn't too impressed.
There's no picture of you breastfeeding the cat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the kitten. Yeah.
Just wrap it up.
Just play this. Okay. Hey Google, play the Star of County Down.
Sure. Star of County Down by
Hey Google, turn it up.
You have it.
Okay, lads, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. It's been real. Bríd, thanks for joining us. Michael is still alive. He'll be here next week. A married man. Ta-ta and farewell. Fuck, I gave it away. Shame, beep that out. All right, thank you very much. Bríd, say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.